Hey, what's up, everybody? I got, of course, my first deck list video coming in from the new house. It's late at night here, and I just made something fresh. And I say fresh isn't something maybe like necessarily not 100% fresh. Fresh for the set and for my building for a while, but I have Ascension Tien here now. Of course, I'm trying something different. Instead of doing like your run-of-the-mill like go level one all in with the name cards, which I'm still kind of doing. We're gonna try to utilize the new level one that came out in this movie collection too here. This was considered to be like a meta counter card, with all the Supreme Kai and stuff. And I think I haven't seen anybody even trying to use this level one. Um, so I was like, why not? We'll try this because I was just making a freestyle Tenshinhan deck for fusion format, and so I was like, why don't I try this? And of course, some of the key cards in that are Panini cards, all of Pian's named attacks, but as well as you have Efficiency Drill and where the hell is it? Aggressive Sword Drill. Aggressive Sword Drill alone does a lot of work for Tien. Anybody who's played Red Tien or even Orange Tien, probably Tien in general, even Black Tien. Tien in general really likes Aggressive Sword Drill, makes all of your named attacks unpreventable, and we run a lot of named attacks. Now, I chose Ruthless. It's the run of the mill. There's some cool combos. There's a couple cards I had in mind when I was picking Ruthless. Really, Ascension kind of eh. I don't really care about MPPV. The stage gain's cool on crit, but then I have to be critting, which I do have cards I guess that would synergize with that. But Ant Mastery seemed kind of neat to keep maybe one of my drills when I level up, and to give me a little anti-anger control, maybe a little stage game potentially with the master, which would be cool. But I run very few, styled attacks, so the modifier on that wouldn't be the best. But I could see amp. But Ruthless was ultimately what I picked as the mastery to go here, and of course, the range is not legal at the time of this deck building for any competitive play. So, like I said, Ruthless Mastery, if you're not familiar, you reveal a styled card from your hand to perform a copy of an attack on top of your pile. And then, of course, you get a when entering combat, banish your top card of pile buff. We're not really going for that. It's really just for you reveal a styled card from your hand to copy an attack, or sorry, perform an attack off the top of your pile. Tenshinhan really relies on his name suite. As you can see, we don't really care about his other upper levels. If you want to read them, go ahead and find them. But the idea of this deck is to run a drill package, Red Sword Slicing Drill, Entered Efficiency Drill, Saving Drill because I don't run Amp Mastery. If I was Amp Mastery, probably wouldn't run this drill. Oversized Drill to 1. This is potentially a 2 of card. Despair Drill, and then 3 Aggressive Sword Drill. Those are my drills. Ideally, we're just going to try to get Aggressive Sword Drill to make all my named attacks unpreventable. It'll help me when entering combat to another card in my hand. Of course, I have a lot of sword cards in this deck because they have great synergy with Aggressive Sword Drill and Sword Slicing Drill in red. Just more and more hand advantage you can build up really good. Efficiency Drill makes sure all my attacks are in the crit threshold. In case it's just a really nice consistent modifier. It always gets around anything, so it's really fun. Saving Drill, like I said, to keep my drills if I level and I have a setup. Oversized Drills more so for the parenthetical. A parenthetical lets you banish it from your discard pile to top an attack out of your pile on top, so it synergizes with your mastery to let you pick out any specific attack you really want. So super, super good. Despair Drill, of course, is just a modifier. Now, ideally, I can get this card rolling out when I have some anger going, and this card can make me do some crazy damage, especially if I get Aggressive Sword Drill out, which I do have 3 of it. If I can get one of these out, with this out, you can be landing Tribeams. Tin's Tribeam, which we'll get to, is one of his name cards. 4 life card base attack. Let's say you get 2 anger. It gives you anger when you perform it to keep buffing it up, so it'll get stronger every use. Unpreventable. Like a 6, 7, 8 life card attack. Unpreventable. Super good. And of course, it's double use. We also have 3 red relaxation to round out the setups. Super good. So our dead card count is decently high. It's right around a dozen, I think. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so one short of a dozen. I could definitely see getting cut down, but This deck doesn't necessarily need to go off right away, but it's got so many of the cards that are tutorable. All the drills are tutorable. You can enter on an aggressive sword drill drop or a red relaxation drop. So half the setups and drill cards you can enter in with not lose too much momentum. Relaxation just gives you that when entering combat crit, super good, and a draw card in some stages. So hard not to run that card. So we'll get to his named attacks. Solar Flare is just a board clear card. We don't have really good board hate right now. Uh, that might change. I might need to run a Red Energy Blast, but right now we're just going to say fuck it and go Solar Flare is my only one. Probably not a good idea. Probably going to throw Red Energy Blast now that I remember it, but we'll just bring that up. Anyway, this card is super dank. You just blank out into one single card on the board. I think there's no a non-mastery card, so literally any card, MP, ally, setup drill, a multi-use attack that's sitting in play, attach cards. It blanks it out. It gives a little anger control. If it's milled off your deck, it rejuvenates itself, which is super cool. Only bummer with it is it's a 3-life card attack that banishes itself, so use it sparingly. Preparation is one of the key cards, of course, of Red TN, or just any TN, really. This card's just going to help you filter the deck, give you some anger so you can maybe bump up the level. Like, again, the biggest thing with TN level 1 is that we want to just make sure that we shut off, like, Supreme Kai, Visiting the Past when that was legal would have been nice to shut off. Red Relaxations, all sorts of when entering combat effects that are really strong. We're just going to make sure that we get to control what the opponent has, and we're going to just try to build up advantage. Like, we're going to use TN to rob any tutoring that they have, and then use the Red Relaxations and Aggressive Sword Drill to build up a couple more cards in your hand. So it'll be super, super good. And we have a lot of multi-use attacks, too. So TN's Preparation, of course, just, again, this card can give you... What's great about this card is if it's rejuvenated, you draw a card, so you can let them sit in your pile, and then we pull them out with the level 2 effect, or the level 1 effect, which is an energy attack that hits, gets you rejuve one. So this level 1 can turn into like 2 attacks, essentially, 3 cards. If you think about if you're able to activate the when enter combat effect here, it's potentially like 3 cards that you're getting, 3 different effects off of 1 card. Super good. And then, of course, level 2 can rejuvenate a prep out of your pile too if you deal crit damage. So it does have a modifier. So again, we got Efficiency Drill, Despair Drill, level 2, all can help us put us into crit range on a lot of these attacks. We have Targeting as a 1-of. This card is a little bit 1. This is just pretty much like TN level 1, the the Heroes and Villains one, his original level 1. It just lets you search your life deck for a named card, and gives it to you. It gets some stages and a skip, so it's pretty cool. If it's just straight off your deck or banished, it gives you something. So really just there to help you maybe filter through your deck quicker if you need a certain attack. So Tri-Beam, bread and butter. If it hits, it gets to be used again. It's super good. Raises your anger, lowers their anger. Mills them too, mills you too. So you're going to be able to hit TN's Preparations potentially with it, put them in your pile, so that way if this attack crits, you can just rejuvenate them with level 2 or whatever you need to. A good anger control card. It's a card that they're going to be holding the block for and expecting. So you have to take that in consideration. But if it lands and you have Efficiency Drill out, so it's nailing 5 life cards unpreventable with when you have the Aggressive Sword Drill out, I mean that's a 14 life card swing. If because they mill 2, take 5 life unpreventable, use it again, mill 2, 5 life unpreventable. 14 life card swing off of 1 card. So that's almost a quarter. That's almost a quarter of their deck with 1 card. So think about it. Draining Blast is in here. I could see this card going to 1. It's got some synergy with Prep. It does give you back targeting, which is really cool. It can put back targets for targeting. It can put Solar Flare back in your deck. That's kind of why I like it at the 2 right now in my mind. But it's also a named attack, so it's unpreventable for 5 if you got Aggressive Sword Drill out. So, but it's got a big, hefty cost. You got to banish top 3 of your deck to play it. So, but it's an action extender again. You nail a prep with this, or one your pile already, and you just immediately rejuvenate it, draw another card. So it's a big swing in terms of potential, but it's something that you're going to use sparingly. So I think it's a good 2-of to test out. Again, getting Solar Flare back is going to probably be the biggest thing that you're going to do with this card. Otherwise, you're going to be rejuvenating preps if you're going for a kill combat. So now we get out of, well, we're almost out of the named attacks. We have two more named attacks right now. We have Red Shiny Sword Attack. This is considered named card, which is really cool. And if you've played a sword card, it's unpreventable and the damage is all banished. So if I have aggressive sword drill out, it's already unpreventable. And then if I don't have that, I just play a sword card. And we play, I think, 9 sword cards. 12 if you include the 3 aggressive sword drill. But to be able to proc this, there's 8 other cards we can play before it. It's named so I can tutor it with targeting, which is kind of neat. And on top of the fact of it being tutorable, I can also tutor it. Well, I suppose it's tutorable with aggressive sword drill is the biggest thing. So I can grab this with aggressive sword drill and then throw it out, and it's like, okay, are you gonna let it hit? Because it's gonna automatically deal critical damage if it hits. So really, really strong. I was thinking about running Red Intimidation Drill purely because of like this card and aggressive sword drill being able to get you more draw, but we'll see. I might add it in. I gotta find the room right now in the list here, but Pesky Barrage at a 1. We're never really going to tutor this card too often, but this ideal situation card, the biggest issue with it is it costs you stages, and it's a freestyle card. Or no, it's considered styled, isn't it? No, it's just yeah, it's freestyle. It's considered named. That's what it was. So it's also a named card. You can tutor it with your level, or sorry, with targeting. You can rejuvenate it with a bunch of different effects because it's freestyle. There's also the fact that because it's named, it's a double use 5 life card, lower their anger 1 attack, so 10 life card swing with aggressive sword drill out. So super, super strong. Potentially 4 anti-anger if you lower their anger 1 each use, and then crit with their anger with each use. So really good. Just a 1 though, big stage cost. So sword maneuver again, another sword card. Now we're getting out of the name cards finally. So I have all these name cards. Red Sword Maneuver, though, this card is super cool. Like, if I get any drill out, I can go and tutor for a different one. I have to banish drill I control, but it gives me any style drill I want. So, while my options are kind of limited in what I can grab, I mean, ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to bounce a drill out, maybe use aggressive sword drill already, and then you final, like, attack, you throw the sword maneuver, banish it, and then you go grab where is it? Where the hell is it? Red Sword Slicing Drill, which says when entering in combat for the first time, you get to go grab a sword card from your pile. So just more cards that again are building you up advantage. It's just basic. Pretty much the deck is just basic TN package, kind of with red sword package, just for a lot of actions, and then using TN level 1 to try to deny any decks that are building up board on you, and using Solar Flare effectively too. So we will go down to the next attack. Is the last sword attack. It's Red Sword Stab. It's really just in here because it's a sword card, worst case scenario. But 3 endurance is nice. It's just purely because it's a sword that's not banished after use. So no matter what, you can get this card in your hand. At worst, what this card becomes when you tutor it to your hand with aggressive sword drill or with Red Sword Slicing Drill is it's a styled card, so you can reveal it to your mastery to double up on it, like a freestyle attack that lands on top of your pile. Like maybe you use Tri-Beam. And so, of course, they're skipped when it hits. So you go Tri-Beam, hits, Tri-Beam again. Okay, that's a second use. You mastery the Red Sword Stab in your hand for Tri-Beam. I mean, so it's always going to be live in some sense. So really, it's just a good to have it there. We get to Red Shoulder Grab. Now this card's in here because we're ideally going to be throwing a lot of actions out, and it just makes it so it's a bit harder. This is like kind of like where your ally clear and your ball clear is going to be coming from on top of the crit damage you're going to be kicking out. So biggest thing I'd worry about is like hard board. Again, like Red Energy Blast could make its way in here, but it's just so kind of like hit and miss and how useful it is. It's a great card, don't get me wrong. I think Red Energy Blast could make a good 2 of, but it's just stages in this deck. Actually, I think what we'll do. Okay, we will add it. So Red Freeze Beam, we'll go 2 of it, just because we're not always going to have the drills in the zones. But you want to see this card like mid game, or if you've been taking some damage. But it's a way to tutor some of your drills out if they get knocked out of your deck. And on top of it, it's a good way to like bounce Red Sword Slicing Drill, which is huge. It can grab freestyle drills which is super, super awesome. It grabs any type of drill, so it just makes sure that we keep aggressive sword drill out or injured efficiency drill out at all times. So very, very strong. I think a good 2 of though. It's an AT2, cost you 2. Doesn't do a lot of damage, it's just purely utility, so 2 of it's fine. You don't want to see it early. Red right punch, well, I'm going to bump this one up here just because it's farther down the list, but this is kind of a card I could see running at 2. I have it at 3 right now. This is just purely to help you get the drill package out quick, so that way you can hit the ground running when you get the right hands. I could see this card going down to 2 though, but we'll have it at 3. Worst case scenario again, reveal it to mastery. So we have any more attacks? Oh yeah, final attack. Its list is a little out of order. Heroic Dashing Punch. This is anti-anger. It's deck banish. It helps you keep your pile clean because all damage becomes banished after you play it. So whatever you put in your piles, exactly, it's not gonna you're not gonna have to worry about your mastery getting messed up. So like if you want to perform a certain attack again, all the cards are going to be always be what you want them to be because of this card. It just destroys any decks that want to rejuvenate to play with their pile. And it also shuts off anger decks, so it's a really, really good card. We have a Heroic Energy Sphere. Oh, sorry, one more attack. Red Leap. Now, of course, this card is if it gets knocked off your deck or rejuvenated. So if it's destroyed or rejuvenated in combat, your attack's still +2 life cards. So it's another card to modify. Again, we do a decent amount of self-mill with Preparation and Tri-Beam. So, and Solar Flare all mill you. So all things to consider, not to mention well, the only bummer about this card is you don't really have too many ways to rejuvenate it in this deck. I don't think there's any way to rejuvenate it in this deck. No, there isn't. So you're going to just try to rely on milling yourself and hitting this card with luck, but it's in there for that reason. Otherwise, it's an AT3 life card physical that costs you 2 stages. It's kind of poopy, but again, worst case scenario, revealed to mastery, so worst case scenario. So we'll get to the events. The events are 3 Heroic Energy Sphere, 3 on the move, and Time is Warrior's Tool. I was thinking about adding Confro, but for now, I think I don't necessarily need Confro. We're just going to try to brute force people a bit. The spheres are just there to stop Time is Warrior's Tool and other like good, powerful events like Unleashed and Combat Enders, whereas like On the Move and Time are just there to give you more. Of course, On the Move draws you a card, which is super good and gives you some stages, but Time and On the Move both are blocks. So, and my only 3 other blocks are Red Brace and Red Blocking Hands. So we're running pretty light. 4 Omnis and 3 and 3, so it's 10 blocks total. We're just trying to like trade. Ideally, I don't actually mind having a pile. It helps me proc off my level 2 and level 1 for prep rejuve some more cards better. So that'll be pretty cool. But let's see. Is there anything else I missed? No, I think that is the list right there. So if I was going to add anything, Red Cannon would be really good actually. I want to throw Red Cannon in so bad, but I think Red Energy Blast. Well, maybe I will do Red Cannon. Red Energy Blast, Red Cannon would be my picks. I could do 1 Draining Blast. I would be okay with 1 Draining Blast. 2 Red Cannon. The only problem with Cannon is you got to kill your own board, which I'm not sure. For that reason, that's like why I don't want to run it. It's just ooh, Red Observation. That could be pretty good. Yeah, it's a big board wipe. Yeah, why not? We'll do one of those. Okay, so another event. That still leaves me an extra card slot. Oh, you know, Red Trailing Blast is a thing, but there's something. I could just go 3 Freezing Beam and say fuck it. Yeah, we'll just go 3 Freezing Beam. So we'll keep it pretty streamlined. So Observation and Freezing Beam. So there are some decent. There's not a ton of board hate, but ideally we're just gonna try to kill the most important stuff with this and crit everything else away. So setups and drills, I guess, would be annoying, but no, I should Energy Blast. Dang it. Okay, where do we throw Energy Blast? I literally just fucking had all these extra slots, so I threw those extra other cards in. We'll throw it in here. And what did I just add in? Observation. I'll keep it for now. We'll go 2 Bright Punch, and we will go 2 Freezing Beam, and we'll go 2 Energy Blast, because I won't want to see it all the time, and I won't always have stages. I can't even find out where I put it. I have no idea where I threw it. I cannot. Why can't I? Well, anyway, guys, if I find Red Energy Blast at any point in my list here, that would be a 2 of. But I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I think it could be decent, at least fun at the very least. I think there's some potential either way. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.